Today I'm going to talk about a Sharp GF9191 boombox that I had worked on and got going. This boombox here is actually, it's a pretty nice boombox, and I think it was made, I would have to say, probably at the beginning of the 80s. I'm not really sure, but it has a nice industrial look to it. Also, it's a pretty large boombox. The actual dimensions, I think, are about almost 52 centimeters wide, and then it's about 27 centimeters high, and I think it's almost 12 centimeters deep, and it weighs about somewhere around, I think, 6.5 kilos, or right over 13 pounds. As far as the features are concerned, it has a phono input, so you can go ahead and attach a turntable, record player. It also has the obligatory ground connection, so you don't get that much hum. And of course it has a headphone jack. It's like a regular size headphone jack. It has built-in microphones, one on the left and one on the right. It has a total of four speakers, two woofers, and two tweeters. Also, as you can see, it uses the old style, the VU meters, and if you hit this one switch, see the lights, there's actually two little lamps inside. The lamps come on. And on the side there's an AC input, or you can run it off the mains, or you can use, looks like a DC plug. It looks like it says here DC 15 volts, so you can hook it up that way if you want. On the back it has here it has a connection for an FM antenna. This looks like it just takes a regular 300 ohm dipole antenna. You can also hook up two external microphones. Looks like this is some kind of a jack here for a microphone remote. On my version, also has looks like the DIN connections, which are probably for playback and record. You can hook up two loudspeakers from 4 to 8 ohms. In order to hook up external loudspeakers, you would need this kind of a plug, which has a flat prong and then a round prong. There's also a beat cancel switch to stop interference. I think this worked with AM, so that's not really a concern nowadays. And the unit has two antennas. These are retracted, they're not pulled out. Of course, there's also a battery compartment. This thing takes 10D batteries, and I have no idea how long the batteries would hold up if you're playing cassettes all day. And on the right side here, there's simply one large tuning knob. The GF9191 also has a loudness control, which is a little bit unusual for a boombox. I mean, I've seen quite a number that don't have this control. Basically, if you're listening at low sound levels, it'll boost your lows and highs so you can, for example, hear the music better. It also has this switch here, which is for the light, and also you can use it to tune the radio or tune to a station. So right now I'm going to go ahead and tune to a station. You can see the meter on the right there. I can go ahead and adjust the tuning knob so I can go ahead and get the strongest station, the strongest setting for the station, which is about right there. You can see the needles all the way to the right, and here there's much less signal coming in, and here it is high again. Here you have your record level sliders. In case if you want to manually set the record level, you have a choice between automatic and manual, and that's what these things are for. Over here to the right you have the bass and the treble controls, and you can control the volume of each channel separately. You have two sliders here, left and right. So on the right side here of the controls section, you have this mic mix thing with your fader control. I guess if you want to get fancy, you can control, I guess, the how much input is coming in either from your mic or from the source, I guess like a radio. I don't know exactly, it's been a long time since I used something like that, to be honest. And that must be, I guess that's something else here for the record, where you can control the either you can have mixing on or off, and here's that switch I was talking about for manual automatic record. Here you can switch for chrome tape or normal tape, and of course you got your stereo wide, mono positions. You have your FM radio button, your shortwave radio button, your regular AM radio button, and your longwave radio button. And here, this button you hit if you want to go ahead and hook up a record player turntable. And this thing here, this just go ahead, it's a power switch, turns your set off and on. Now coming to the cassette controls. This edit switch, I'd like to know what this is for myself, to be honest. You got your pause, that looks like that must be the rewind, I believe. That's your play, record, or this could be the rewind, excuse me, and this could be the fast forward. Here's your eject, and here's your stop button, and this is what's the APSS system. It's kind of like a search system. You put the tape in play, and then if you hit either the forward or reverse, what it does, it goes ahead until it finds the next song, next selection. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the APSS on now for as a quick demonstration. I've got the cassette playing and there's a song, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the APSS forward button and let it find the next song. And looks like that was it. I'll try it again. See, the light will be flashing, and as soon as it hits the next song, it should go ahead and stop. Yeah, it does make some kind of a racket. And that should be it right there. So there should be a song coming up. Yep. That's how that works. And of course you can hit the rewind button and it'll go backwards and do the same thing. So overall it's a pretty nice box with this industrial design. I think when if you do try to buy these, you got to make sure your antennas are intact, because you definitely can't get those no more. You can get something comparable, but the antennas I've seen before, replacement antennas, either they're too long or they're not short enough. The replacement antennas, you actually still have this little black plastic pieces on there, and you see this, the end of the antenna fits right into this little holder right there. I don't know if I can get some light on this. There's a little holder right there, and that fits right in. I've got some replacement antennas before for another boom box, but they ended up being a little bit too long. So I don't think they're that easy to find. I think what you have to watch out for when you buy these like Sharp GF 9191s is to make sure they have the original antennas. You'll see the original antennas, they always got these little black piece around the base here. You can get replacement antennas, but you might have a hard time getting the exact same size so they'll fit down into this holder there. And of course you most likely always have to replace the belts. There's a total of 3 belts in here, but if you have a little mechanical aptitude you can go ahead and change those. And you have to make sure the pinch roller is not all worn down. Also, there's like a little rubber piece inside, a little pulley piece, which disintegrates to glue. So you have to get a replacement for that, but that can be easily made with a piece of tubing. And of course, you got to make sure that the box isn't too beat down on the outside. What you have to do for sure is, besides change the belts, I mean, if you're going to go ahead and use the cassette, you should change the belts. I guess if you're just going to use the box as a radio, you don't need to. But if you're going to go ahead and change the belts, then you're also most likely going to have to clean the tape head, because there's going to be a lot of oxidation on there. Of course, you also got to look at besides the pinch roller, that the tape head isn't all scratched up or worn down. So overall, I can say I can only recommend this boombox. I think it's got a really great look and it sounds good.